Roll with it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Flummery number 19. That's right, 19 Flummeries with my friend Lance War Machine Gallaudet.
That's right. The War Machine is back
for a limited time only.
Still holding on
to dear life. I am Frosty, the Frostage, the middle of the Oreo. Welcome, everybody.
That's the soft part, not the hard part.
That's fine. I'm all right with that. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We got some really fun and exciting things to talk about. Cricket.
Exactly. I don't even know where we're going to start with this one.
So, week 19, how do you feel?
I'm happy. I think things are finally moving along. Still waiting on that patent from you.
Absolutely.
You know, I was really surprised that we're going to talk about this right away. I looked at the views on our last podcast.
Yeah.
It was like 168 views.
No way.
Fucking right.
For real?
Yeah. We went from like being like one of Jason's and another one was like 50 views. Now we're like 168, 200 or somewhere in there.
Well, it had to be because of like the Jason thing and the periphery thing kind of spread the word a little bit at least.
Yeah.
We just have to keep getting
venereally spread it.
We need to venereally orally spread the word to about 10 times that many people every week.
Right.
So
and I'm going to ask everybody that's listening.
Keep our name in your mouth,
if
fool.
you haven't done this, we ask you to. It doesn't mean you have to listen every week, but any word of mouth or referral and or going to our Facebook and or
I'm checking our email right now.
YouTube.
Crap.
Get rid of that soundboard.com thing.
Delete it?
Yeah, I'm going to get right to this. Please go out and subscribe to us, especially on YouTube. Would be great.
Your subscription on YouTube is like the best way for us to track who's listening and what we need to do.
And officially get a name for our YouTube.
Jam sesh. We're going to have a jam cram sesh to figure out the name that we want for our YouTube's channel.
Basically, our subscriptions on the YouTube will help us out and secure us official YouTube page.
You could also, if you decide to, email us at theflummerypodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to hear about certain topics, if you want to be added to our mailing list, or if you want us to just randomly call you, leave your phone number, because we have another announcement.
Yeah, Adam finally got together the phone situation on our soundboard.
Am I my new nickname, since we're going with douchey nicknames? Am I the situation now for like a couple weeks?
Yeah, you can be, but I'm officially changing mine to War Machine.
We can't. You're fired.
Yeah, boy.
Okay.
Glad I covered that up.
Ooh, that was a squelcher.
He's not talking about the sound bit there.
It was a fluffy toot. That's what I like to call it. So yeah, we got the phone situation going. So stay tuned. We'll have a surprise phone call, and hopefully we won't get voicemail every time. Which brings up a topic.
Let's get back. Let's just reiterate about
the deal. Okay, gotcha.
About people getting on board and becoming a part of the Flummery.
All right. Well, let me just.
God, you fucking suck.
Let me just go.
You're so fucking bad.
The windows are open. It's fine. Let me just go back then. Let's do that. Look us up on the phone as the Flummery Podcast on both Instagram and YouTube.
Do that right now. While you're at it, just do it now. If you're listening to this on YouTube, subscribe. Be great.
I'll hold my next fart till you do. On Instagram and YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. You can also find us at the Flummery on Twitter for all of our 10 tweets. Don't miss one. Don't forget Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which we mentioned many times, but we want you to do it. We need the subscriptions. And again, someday we might add you to some type of mailing list. And you can get a bunch of shit that you don't want in your email as well if you send us emails at theflummerypodcast@gmail.com.
Fuck her right in the pussy.
You might get a chance to fuck our email right in the pussy. See, that's the thing. Like, they came out and they're who's the quarterback for Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay.
I haven't followed Tampa Bay in years. That's one football team I have no idea about.
Oh, Jameis Winston, who did fantastic last year. Like, he made a huge jump in his performance. So really great. Pulled his team together. He was a real leader. I did not get upset when he got up on the table when he was still in college and yelled, "Fuck her right in the pussy." Because it was like an internet fad at the time.
That was it?
That was it. And it was, people were up in arms. You can't be acting like that if you want to be in the NFL. I got news for you. Everybody in the NFL is a fucking meathead, no matter how smart they are.
Remember the Vikings and the cruise ship shit?
Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the problem there was that they were subjecting some people who weren't expecting it to some issues.
A line of coke off somebody's ass?
His strippers and whatnot. I don't think, 18, 19-year-old girls who are working on a boat, like a rental boat, want to see a bunch of stupid strippers. I don't even want to see crappy rental strippers. So
you don't want to go to Limp Lifter? I've never been in there. I think we should go and make it a field trip day.
I've been there. It's
you've been there. You actually spent money there.
You talking about the lamplighter?
Yeah.
No, I walked in.
Its nickname is a Limp Lifter.
Yeah, I do know that. I'm not for. But no, I walked in. And
I hope that burp smells and fucking
I hope it
crawls
does too.
in your nose.
I love the smells of the city. But I walked into this place, okay, and
it smells nice in here.
I'm thinking I'll sit on Sniffer's Row, which is the grossest name of anywhere. But I go in there and I look, and the women are behind glass. And so let's put it this way: if
That's
they're
like watching TV,
if they're protecting the strippers with glass, I don't want to be in there. I'm out. I'm going somewhere else. So I did not spend money there. A place I did spend money, though.
There's not a cover there?
No, I don't think there was at the time. It was like a weekday.
I don't see. I've never been. I'm inquiring because inquiring minds want to know.
It was pretty nasty. The woman was beautiful who was dancing, but
how did they get their money? Is there a little slot underneath?
I think.
Is it like the?
I looked. I can't
bad
remember.
Gas station where it's like you put the money underneath.
Same thing. If I show up there and I don't, I'm like, nope, I don't want to be.
4 inches of plexiglass.
4 inches of plexiglass and about 8 inches of silicone.
Yeah.
Oh, get down.
Lube up that dollar bill.
I did that just to piss Lance off.
I fucking hate it.
That gross sound.
So go Nashville. Go Nashville Predators.
I'm not that guy.
Why?
Well, first of all, I don't like Nashville. I don't like St. Louis. I actually kind of like the Blackhawks. We've talked.
They're
about
not
this.
in the playoffs anymore.
I know. So why I wouldn't root for those other two teams to save my life?
Jason's going for San Jose.
Yeah, I get it. I don't get it. I don't know why he would switch, because it's just because his team did bad one fucking year. Otherwise, like, next year they'll win the cup. It's like, fuck you, Jason. Just stick with. Just sit one of the playoffs out.
They got swept. They got swept hard.
Ooh, brutally humiliated.
We won one game.
Yeah, it was so great.
We came back at that last game, and it was fucked.
Okay.
Highest scoring playoff game we had, too.
This is not it's not just a Minnesota thing for me. The Wild did just fine. Sometimes that shit happens. I hate all the people who are like, the sky is falling. You don't need to completely retool the
I'm
team.
not like that.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying.
I hate people that are like that. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that it affects people's lives so much. Go out for a jog. Go
Get
get a DQ ice cream.
Get the fuck over it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they're like, well, we need to just get rid of all these. I'm like, no, we're so close, just like we have been for the last couple of years, but this year even more. We need to bring in another guy like Holla. You know what I mean? We need to keep. Eriksson Ek did awesome, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not worried. Like, I don't think it's not the end of the world for me. It doesn't in hockey. It's not like basketball. You get the big three and you can win a championship. That's not how it is. You have to have an awesome team, play well during the season, and then be going hot into the playoffs, and that's when you have your best chance to win. I knew they weren't going to win.
It's Jason Bourne.
That's what we need.
Fuck. Is he good on skates?
I guess so.
Every time I think of Jason Bourne, I think of like that guy in the apartment that he fights.
Yeah.
And he stabs him with the pen.
Oh, in the neck.
Yeah, he like stabs him a couple times, but that guy, he's like bent over backwards, and then he comes up like, I'm like, every time I see his face, I'm like, that was such a stupid scene. He fucking did that.
I can't believe they even made the last one that they made.
Yeah, it was. I was over it. I thought that the car chase scene in the first one was like, you could put it up against any car chase scene.
Ronin was really good. That's another good movie.
Oh, thank you. Because other people are like, what do you mean? I'm like,
remember that with the Audi S8?
Oh, yeah. I was telling people for years that was my favorite car chase scene. And they're like, well, what about Bullet? And what about... I'm like, that was fucking 30 years ago or whatever. Get over it.
Right.
It wasn't as good as this one.
Yeah.
That Ronin one was really good. I love the European ones.
It's a very underrated movie in my opinion.
It's awesome.
Ronin is an awesome movie.
Yeah. Yep.
It's got the dude from The Professional in it too.
It's totally an awesome movie. And that one woman just totally pulls her part off. Like she's perfect for it.
Did she pull her dress off?
I don't remember. I should remember these things.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen that movie.
We didn't get any emails from last week. What did we ask people to email us about?
I don't know. I think we're just taking callers and not emails.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of which, let's take a call right now.
Should we give a caller? Should we change?
No, we're waiting for somebody to call in right now.
Okay, ready? Somebody, since we're live, why doesn't somebody give us a call and we'll give away the rights to our first T-shirt. Go ahead and call in and we'll take the fifth caller.
Right.
All right, well, it seems like everybody's kind of having dinner with their families or something. It's some type of snafu here. Technically, I was
starting to laugh right when I shut up. I was just like...
I like that one. I want to get right into it, but I also want to kind of keep juicing the idea that we're going to have like a surprise caller. We should figure out who we should call.
Should we call somebody we mutually know?
Like who?
Who would be available at this time of night that we know?
We could extend an olive branch. We could literally extend an olive branch.
Are you talking about her?
Yes.
He's at work tonight.
Oh, fuck!
He's at work. I think he only get Wednesdays and Thursdays off.
Not that we have to extend the olive branch for real, but I was just throwing that out there.
I don't know if that would make for good podcasting.
He just grumped the whole time. Oh, you fucking guys.
So I was in my Land Rover. Yeah, who would be up? I mean, we could call Jason, but he's too busy banging Marlo. He just got back from in town.
Oh, I thought you were talking about...
I think he'll be a guest next week, actually.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I got good news.
Yeah.
I got confirmation from my friend in California, Brandon.
Yeah.
He does want to do a call interview, so look forward to that, you guys.
What's his whole shtick again?
Well, he's been in a few skits, and I swear I thought I saw something about him doing something with like Final Fantasy VII, like I don't know if it's not the video game, obviously, but like I think they had like a.
Who's that?
Wow. Okay, it's work.
Tell him to fuck off.
I can't. That's weird. I got it on silent. But
Somebody called in. That wasn't the fifth caller, though.
It wasn't. Sorry, you're not the fifth caller. Should I tell him that? Oh, I can't answer it, and like I'm gonna get fired.
Right. You're live. Not really.
We have to pause.
You have to take it?
I have to take it. And we're back. Sorry about that, folks. It's
you don't
life.
have to be sorry. That's what editing's for. You fucking...
All right. Hey, you fucks.
You fuck douche.
Yeah, you guys. Don't be so upset.
Yeah. Just because we hit pause, you guys didn't lose any of your life out of it.
I got my Gopher Minnesota State Fair sucky bottle again with the bendy straw.
Mm-hmm.
Still kind of creeped out. This guy's pretty creepy.
Yeah, because you put it up your butt. That's why.
It was hard to get out. I should have put it up
I can imagine going in pretty easy because of the hat, but after coming back out with those cheeks and shit.
That's a shredder, dude.
That is a shredder.
No way. There's no way that would happen. Let's do we discuss more? Who should we call?
How about we talk about
you think of something? Let me
Joe Rogan podcast I watched.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I before you arrived today,
before you acquired me.
Yeah, like that dude with his car.
Yeah.
Have you ever acquired a car before?
I have to tell you, I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I paid for it, but
Yeah. Just never.
I never got arrested for murder right after.
Right. So they had
He did
Ron Miscavige, which is on Joe Rogan.
And who's he? I don't know.
He is David Miscavige's son, who is the leader of Scientology, who took over after L. Ron Hubbard passed away.
Right.
And
He's like
he has a
Hitler.
what's his book's name? He has got a book out. Can you look that up real quick here?
Sure.
He's got a book out he put out about his relationship between him and his son and everything Scientology.
So it's Miscavige's dad?
Yeah, Ron Miscavige. Misca. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Miscavige. It's
think it's
Miscavige.
Miscavige,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the way they're saying it. You can
Ruthless.
Ruthless.
Scientology.
Yep.
My son David Miscavige and me.
Yep.
Oh man, he's like, there you go.
So I want to talk about it a little bit, but obviously you can go to the Joe Rogan Experience and
Listen to that.
But it was a very Joe got a lot of flack for this. If you read the comments on the video, like people thought that Joe was very rude per se and kind of
To the dad.
But I don't think he was. He kept asking his father if there was anything that he, if his dad's 80 years old, he's going to be 81. He's probably already 81. For an 81-year-old guy, he's holding himself pretty well together. But Joe kept on asking him if he could, change anything, because he doesn't talk to his family. He's got grandkids. He doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Between his other,
They're in the system.
He doesn't even know their names of some of his grandkids because he's exiled. He escaped. He says he escaped 5 years ago.
Okay, so he was
He talks
fully
about,
part of it.
Yeah, he talks
So he
about
got his son into it.
Yeah, he was a Scientologist.
Yeah.
He got his whole family into it. They studied over in England for a year, and then they came back here. And his son David, when around 17, was like, "Hey, this is my calling." Was like full board. And Joe kept asking him if there's anything that you could do. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like right now. If there's anything that you could do to get your son back, or at least talk to him, and do you feel bad about it? Because Joe was like, now if there's anything on a father writing a book about his son and they have no contact, he's like, there's something sad to that. And he asked, he's like, don't you think that's kind of sad? And he's like, well, no.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's some resentment. I don't know how much he gave out about it, but I don't know. To me, it's sad. It's sad when your dad's 81 years old and you fucking exile him out of your life because of these crazy fucking rules of Scientology.
Well, I agree that that's stupid and those rules are dumb. I don't agree that, the father, I guess, he's just reaping what he sowed too, though. Like he's
trying to make some...
he decided to have him go that route, his whole family. So he put them into that brainwashing machine.
Yeah, he said if I could take it back, I wouldn't put my family through that again.
Right.
But he did say that,
this fucker, what a creep.
He did say the initial teachings of Scientology on communication and help and everything. What? Are a benefit and a help. And Joe kind of agreed with that. He's like, yeah, but it blossomed into a different beast after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like a Anthony Robbins or whatever,
yep.
The self-help, that's kind of what Scientology does for people, And I think there is a benefit to that. Like if you, have a positive, I'm just giving you a positive side of it.
Right.
I'm not saying it's not a fucking corrupt piece of shit. I'm just saying there is teachings within it that are probably very beneficial and a positive part of it, but it's become something else now.
So I have a question. Like, okay, from what I understand, from the beginning, that hokey machine that they use has been used, though.
What's a hokey machine?
Like it reads, your midichlorians or whatever.
Oh, why? I don't know
and
the
how
name.
much clearing you need. Yeah, I don't remember the name either. But
beyond that, that's starting to get into the crazy stuff. The crazy stuff is like, yeah, we talk to aliens. This is the way it is. Blah blah blah. Yes, that's crazy. But like the initial self-help part of it was actually really positive and brought out a goodness in people, but it transformed into something different.
Immediately, it seems like it was quick. Well,
No,
it was
we're
during,
talking like
it was during Hubbard's life, though.
Yeah, what did he die in the 80s or something?
He
like that?
allowed it to become just
90s.
90 something.
Look that up.
I'm gonna.
And then that's where David, nice spelling,
Yeah.
kind of like was his left-hand man and became, just go to the bottom one.
Yeah.
I don't know if this interests you guys. It interests the fuck out of me, though.
1986. Yeah, late 80s. So during his life, though, he changed it from something that he had in his mind as a new way of thinking into something about greed.
Well, Joe brought up the point is like, this man's written more science fiction books than anything. And he had time to make a religion.
Should have stuck to that.
You know, you're like, this guy writes fictional books, and then he's making a movement / a cult / religion. You know.
Yep.
Oh, and I didn't realize that it was at the before L. Ron Hubbard's death, they weren't considered Church of the State, so they weren't like tax exempt.
Right.
It's David Miscavige that got that for him, and that's where like the real power came in. It's like he said that he was so driven and wanted to make this work at, around the time L. Ron Hubbard's death. He's like, you don't. What did he something? He's like, you acquire power, and David was about acquiring power.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but he's
like, you're not
far
giving it,
away.
you acquire it. And David was like on this mission to acquire this power.
Yeah, and I think that's what, obviously, when you look at the story of David, that's what he was all about. I mean, he was never.
And they talked about how Joe and him talked about how driven this kid is, and he's like, do you think your son would have been this driven if he were like a CEO of like Goldman Sachs? And he's like, oh yeah, my son could have done anything he wanted to.
Yeah.
Just because he's got that. And that's where Tom Cruise come in. Tom Cruise has got that drive and all that stuff.
Yep.
They feed off each other.
Yeah.
They're like,
they should just get married.
good job, do better. Good job, do better.
You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
They should just get married.
They should.
That's legal in Scientology. Or are people in Scientology against gay people?
There's a picture
too,
of David and Tom Cruise at one of their deals, and they're saluting each other like they're in the fucking army. It's crazy. He's like, Joe's like, is that like culturally appropriate to do that if you're not in a military sense?
Ooh,
and they were like joking about it, like, yeah, you can just go, yeah, do a good job, do your service, blah blah blah. But was wondering if, are these guys, do they think they're military, or what's the deal? What are you looking up?
It just came up. I'm not going to do that. Tom. Got it.
Yeah, there's a picture of them saluting.
What a bunch of fucking quacks. I love it.
Go to images.
Yep. It'd probably be right at the top. Look at that one.
Oh, they're riding bikes together.
Yeah, I don't seem to.
Jesus Christ, do these guys live together?
Bosom buddies.
They must spend so much time together.
Oh, here we go. The internet will win. Don't worry about the book. I'll be your daddy now.
There's a picture of them two on bikes next to each other, and Tom Cruise has got his arm around him like he's kissing him on the face.
Almost kissing his face, yeah. Here's him winning a Scientology award.
Is it?
Yes. Wow.
Find the one where he's saluting each.
Yeah, well, I'll just keep looking.
Well, that doesn't help our listeners.
Well, I know that, but go on. So what were some of the other things that...
And this is where Joe is getting a lot of flack, because he cut it short, and he kept on referring to Ron and asking if he made a mistake.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. That's the picture they showed. Are
There's
you kidding me?
Image. There we go. We'll just leave that up for a while.
Are you kidding me? What does that mean?
It is the Scientology salute.
And Ron was talking about
the SS.
That big world globe thing in that backdrop.
That is so freaky.
A lot of money put into that shit. And how they acquired that money was just gifted.
Yep. Given from the people that they're fucking over.
Yep. What's funny is he's talking about all these
I can't take
these installments of Scientology
the levels, I think they call them.
churches or whatever they are.
Oh,
And there's
the
like you go-
locations?
yeah, locations, and then the actual whatever church or they are. And he's like, there's nobody ever in them. Nobody's ever in them. It's all just air. There's no people in them. It's weird. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'd never heard of
And
that.
he said they're down to about 20,000 members right now. And he said maybe the 90s it was around 100,000.
I get it.
But
Like-
the internet's brought this up. And he said that Ron, his dad, said that Google is the one that spread a lot of light to him on this because he lives, once you're in that realm, you're fucking policed hardcore on everything you do. Even his dad was. And that's how he said he escaped. He had to escape because it was like militarized. There's
Jesus.
a level they call it. I forget. There's a branch of Scientologists that's almost like a military part of it.
Yeah, they talk about it on Going Clear, the documentary. It seems like I still don't understand. It seems like you're really into the whole idea and you're not
I'm not
watching
into it. It just it interests me on people that fall into this.
I don't understand how people can think like that anymore. With the way that information and technology is, it's like I still have my faith in God, but that's just because that's something that I had since I was young and I still use a little, but I can't imagine going into it as an adult.
Do you go to church?
Well, no, hardly ever. That's
Do you bring your kids to church?
We brought them quite a few times early on, and we haven't baptized them though, because we want them to decide.
Right. So do you teach at home? Do you talk about God at home?
Yeah, like we mostly on the holidays we talk about what the holidays mean, what people were thinking when they decided to celebrate these things, and yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You pray at when I'm home. I'm working second shift.
So you're not a certain denomination yourself as far as...
I was Catholic. I felt like for a long time I went away from the Catholic Church, and then I went back to a few masses when my kids, were younger, and I'm I went to other churches too in the interim to see if I liked them because I was so turned off by the Catholic Church. And until the new Pope was a lot more
the priest
populist.
didn't turn you on, they actually turned you off.
Yeah, they think they turned a lot of people off, but that's probably why they had to have sex with kids.
It's an interesting thing, man.
But during that whole time I was like, fuck this. I don't they can't it's an institutional thing. They were letting it happen. I'm like, fuck that. It's the same thing you would do if it was happening, in a company or something, and everybody's sharing emails about this rancid shit that they're doing and acting like it was no big deal.
Christian churches do a lot of the same things that that acquire money and do the same things that Scientology do. The thing with Scientology was just blown up so quick, and they were very eager to have a stance and have power.
Well, I think he blew his wad because he based it on science and finger quote science.
Dianetics.
Yeah, Dianetics, which is made up too, but it's like I think a lot of people were like, "Well, this isn't science fiction. This isn't some crazy supernatural thing. This happened, And then I think that like I say, blew his load because it's like when you describe them as flying in these old airplanes from another world, it's like, come on. And now that technology is where it is, people just aren't going to believe that shit anymore.
Right.
It's just like they don't people are falling out of all the churches because they don't believe in that stuff that they were taught. It's not provable. But I have certain beliefs about that I don't need to get too in depth with. But like that, you can marry the two. You can marry science and your own religion, especially when you actually.
I have a good
talk
buddy,
about
Justin,
the
who's
connection.
Huge science. He's a chemist, and he's hugely into science, but he's religious at the same time too. But he also lives in Winona and has no other social outlets, and he lives in just outside of Winona, and one of his social outlets is a church.
Yeah.
Besides
That's
having
good.
a drink.
Well, that's how it is. It's all about community, right? Mm-hmm. And so that church can be helpful that way. And I believe in churches that way, any kind of church.
And
but when it starts to
Scientology started that way, though. It started as a helping your people
helping
out,
yourself,
and helping other people out.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I'm saying there's a positive side to it, but I'm saying it turned into something different.
Yeah. All the major religions have used people. They've enslaved people. They've killed people for not believing what they believe. So nobody's innocent. That's
No,
but
I'm
for me,
innocent.
Scientology is fuck that.
War Machine's innocent.
No. you're guilty and the guy who acquired the car is innocent. Both of those are literal facts. Let's get back to the facts.
What do you think about the Catholic Church talking about, I mean, wasn't recently they're talking about aliens and how that's a possibility and stuff now, and how does that relate to the teachings of the Bible being like we're the only people in the universe?
Well, that's not, it never said that. It said that we were created, in God's image, but it didn't say that he didn't create other people elsewhere. Right? There could be lots of aliens that look kind of like us. That were created.
I call them analins.
Analins? Yeah, and they live in nuclear facilities. And
they have 3 arms.
Yeah. And
one's literally for just scratching their own ass.
But that's what I mean. You talk about a lot of the supernatural stuff and the things that we understand about energy now and about like quarks and like
the subatomic
dark
level.
matter. Yeah, subatomic particles, perfect. And dark matter and antimatter, and
which is all
gravity.
Most of that's theoretical still.
Oh, those are...
Well, dark energy and dark matter are, but
there's very few laws in science, but
math equations saying that they exist, but we don't know how they exist.
Yeah, they prove them out fairly well. But the one, I mean, if you go back, and we can go back many, many years to the general theory of relativity and the special theory of relativity that Einstein developed, and he believed in God, and he would go on his walks and he would think about these things, and that stuff brought him closer to God because he knew. Well, the key is to never stop questioning, right? I think that's how the quote goes. Or the key is to always question. That's one of those is the quote. And it goes on to say he knew that these subatomic particles existed, but he couldn't prove that.
You're talking about the Indian dude?
No, I'm talking about Albert Einstein.
Oh, there's an Indian dude before that, I believe, that theorized this before him.
Oh, okay. But the point is that he's looking at nature and everything, and he's still feeling God when he's doing it. And he knows that he can only prove so much. And there's still a lot more science out there that you could consider as part of God.
Well, I'll bring it down to a simple thing to you. And I wouldn't say I'm an atheist, but I'm not.
You're agnostic.
I'm agnostic. For a while, I was an
you believe
atheist.
In the flying spaghetti monster?
I love the flying spaghetti.
You've heard of that?
Yes, I'm very
awesome.
well aware of it.
I love it.
It was a dude out of Nebraska.
I love it.
Or Ohio.
I love every second of it.
And he had some very valid points. And
he did.
He made a obviously he's well read and well written, and he made a point, and it became it's a recognized church by the government of the United States.
I still feel like it's total bullshit, but it's awesome.
Well, yes, it is, of course. But he was trying to prove a point on what he was doing.
He sued to be allowed to wear a spaghetti strainer on his head.
We should get shirts made of those.
Yeah.
This flying spaghetti monster.
The flying flummery monster.
We
can do the octopus.
Legally, I don't know if we can do it, but say we believe. But here, what I was getting back to is like what your belief is in a God or what.
Steal the X-Files.
Bring it down to a simple thing like light or wavelengths. We can only see a certain amount of wavelength, right?
Good. Yep,
so
I get it.
I would say like if we can see like what is the red one where you see the light more of a infrared that we could probably detect more things in nature around us if we were able to see it, whether it be a physical body or not.
Stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, but there's other things past that we can and cannot see because we are so limited in our vision, just in vision, and that's just one sense I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm not talking about
sound
or taste or smell or whatever, but. That's what I'm getting to the point is like we're limited in our vision.
That's exactly what I'm saying, right? There's so much out there that we can't see, but we can prove it somehow. And that's kind of how religion started, is because people as humans were intuitive enough to know that they could throw a spear or a towel, I think they call them, whatever. They could throw weapons, a lance. They could kill something and see it die. But they didn't know what the wind was. You know what I mean?
No.
And so they're standing on a butte or a bluff, right? And a huge wind comes up, and they're like,
a butte isn't a butte.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And a huge wind comes up.
Not a butte.
It's a beaut.
What a butte! Oh, you're such a butte. Get over here, sweetheart.
So she's like, if you're standing there and you're a Native American, let's say, you don't know what the wind is. I mean, you know it's the wind because you've given it a name, I'm sure.
What if you relate it to your farts?
But you don't know
You're
where
just
a gust of wind comes from. It's
was
like,
that God fart?
mine are always God farts. I call them the God particles.
I'm sure that's what comes out of your ass.
Oh, God. What is that? Oh, my God. My underwear filters out most of the God particles. But
And maybe we will attain a higher, hopefully
acquire it.
in our evolution of the human
We are.
being.
That's what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. They have built huge machines that can sense these particles, or that can.
The Hadron Collider?
Yeah, the Large Hadron Collider, I believe, has had success.
Yeah.
Detecting, and forgive me, I might be wrong.
They found the Hadron Bose particle or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Which was a missing particle out of one of their subatomic.
Hadron Bose, yeah. Yep.
One of the missing particles, theoretical
I think they
particles.
had to try to take a picture of it, essentially, right?
Well, they have a electron graph of it kind of happening in the epicenter or whatever.
I loved that. That wasn't very long ago that happened, and I read about that. I feel
so.
Stupid
Where do you
for
think that in the last 100? I mean, obviously the last 100 years it's crazy how we've evolved. And I mean, people used to walk around 120 years ago. To get to places or horseback.
Well, it's the same thing. You look at America and people are like, "Oh, we can't accomplish this and we can't accomplish that." It's like, what? We built the interstate system in 20 fucking years.
Yeah, and that was an idea.
Coated the entire planet.
I think that was an idea
roads.
that it came from Romans, and then Hitler took that on and wanted to do that. And then we're like, if we're going to be
Hitler again.
Well,
you and your Hitler.
He wasn't a dumbass. He might have been a crazy ass, but he wasn't a dumbass.
No, I think he was. I think he got that from other.
Well, obviously,
scientists.
he surrounded himself with people that had good science, ideologies and
smart people, scientists.
And people that they were.
I think he.
Sword.
Yeah, he did.
He surrounded. He had to surround himself with people that were intelligent.
But not intelligent enough not to think that it was okay to just murder an entire society of people.
Well, he's like,
which, if you think about it, is how would you rather have somebody be intelligent?
Well, it brings it back to if you're if you're a bad person, you're a Scientologist, and you're somebody that's doing slandering things towards the religion. You're not. What they do is they send you to a certain place to have you reconditioned. Mm-hmm. They don't,
and they punish
you. They don't expel you.
They fuck with you bad.
They fuck with you bad.
It's bad.
That's, I think, what he's doing to his wife right now, actually.
Oh, my God.
That's what they're saying, that she's not around, but I think they're reconditioning her.
For real.
I bet they are. A solitary fucking place.
Yep. And it's so 1941, I've got a handicapped kid, and they just send him off to be in this fucking insane asylum for
I'm sure
years.
There's people around to monitor their.
The fucking Kennedys did that.
To what?
I don't remember. What was her name? Was her name Eugene Kennedy?
Was she a sibling?
Yeah, she was handicapped. She was, and they just didn't know what to do, so they sent her to this asylum, and she spent most of her life there. Until it wasn't until near the end of her life before they had any major contact with her.
How awful!
I don't get it.
Well,
it's horrible.
That's if you had brain issues or meltdowns, they used to fucking electrocute your head.
Oh, you know what? I kind of fucked that up. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
His daughter
fucking
did not start out handicapped. They gave her she was basically too rambunctious.
Oh, she needed to be like a Ritalin kid or something.
They gave her, and she was very anti, and she was very outspoken, and she did some crazy shit, right? So her dad
she's
was
a little nutty.
I know he's trying to run for office and stuff.
Yeah, so she was
a powerful person.
She was hindering that.
Yeah, and so they told him that they could give her a lobotomy, but it just takes out the spunkiness, and then they botched that lobotomy.
So they gave her a fucking lobotomy.
Yes. That is the true story now that I've remembered it and figured it out.
Because I don't want people saying on comments
"Fuck you,
Adam
Kennedys.
doesn't know shit."
Fuck you, Kennedys. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So what does God have something to do with that? With the curse on that family, because of what they did, and they allowed their father did it, and nobody stood up to him about it.
Well, their children, 2 of the children got shot.
Is it? I mean, how far do we go with shit? What do we believe? Did they get shot because they to punish the father and their family for just allowing this shit to happen.
Or are you just talking about karma here?
Well, you can talk about both. You can be, is it because of God or is it because of karma? What do we believe? Like,
I mean, I think it's a little ridiculous to say that, you know, if
I do
listen, there's kids that are starving in Africa and they're like
everywhere.
Is that God's work? I mean,
No,
we're all supposed to be God's children and have like blah blah blah, and now you got these kids that are, and I'm not like running on this train or anything, but
that's fine.
There's people out there that are. You think you got one? This is what ticks me off. People think they have a bad life and they're down and out, and they post their shit on Facebook.
Fucking millennials.
Really bad work. Yeah, especially fucking millennials.
You fucking millennials
you
are all
have
the same.
nothing bad.
Compared to
you have nothing bad.
3/4 of the world.
Why don't you focus on being positive a little bit in your life? Stop posting on Facebook about it unless you're talking about going to the Home Depot or fucking finger banging your butthole.
Finger hut, I think, is what you meant to say.
And just focus on you a little bit.
Finger bang your butt.
I even need to do it. Stay off your phone about 75% of the time that you usually do.
Finger bang your
Go for a walk, soak in a little sun, have a beer, you know, have sex with a chick or a dude, and smoke a J. There's nothing wrong with that.
Can I tell you a funny... Since you said have sex with a chick or a dude, can I tell you something funny?
Hey, I'm just being PC or whatever, you know, whatever works for you. Or Asian, Japanese robot, you know, that's available.
I saw a picture on the internet of this guy in a full-on, it's like a full like body suit, and there's this machine, like this pump machine over his junk, and he's got a big VR thing on his thing, and his head's leaning back. He's got a big smile on his face. He's like,
have I seen that too?
Oh my god, that's the best.
Do they just
so gross?
You gotta like squirt a big thing of KY on that fucker, don't you?
It's probably, I mean, if you're spending that much energy, it's probably got a luber on it.
Yeah,
like sensing dryness.
Yeah, it's got like little cartridges you put in.
And there's like a little lube carburetor in there. Every 10 pumps, it gets a squirt of lube gas.
More wetness, please. It's like a little clicking, like you're in a hospital
like morphine.
bed. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I love how we're getting so serious about this talk.
Well, we were serious. Now we flummed it.
Well, that's the whole point of it, man.
That's the whole point.
You're supposed to have fun and question things. Right?
No, I believe what I believe, and I'm okay with what I believe. I don't have to justify it. So it is good.
It's good that you don't have to justify it. And
it is good to talk about it.
Everybody else's business and get pissed about it.
Stay on my business.
And or put people down or kill over it too.
What was the song I was just singing?
I don't know.
Finger bang your butthole, baby. Finger bang bang bang.
It's not even a real song.
I know, but I made a song up about when you said finger bang your butthole.
Oh,
that sounds good. Like no matter, it's not going to be fun. But if you say it that way, it
depends how many fingers
finger
you use.
Bang your butthole.
Fingers or whatever device you use.
Okay, I got to tell you something. Since you brought up the podcast deal, I do kind of like that we're throwing in our reviews of recent podcasts we listened to. I thought that was a fart.
So did I.
In the bathtub. There's a ghost.
It's time to stop.
Fuck. We got a. Where was I? Oh my god, I love that one. So it's time to stop. Stop.
I'm here to
stimulate your senses.
5 gum. You owe us money now for that advertisement.
What were we gonna say now?
Oh, fuck, where was it?
Reviews of podcasts.
So we've been talking about podcasts. It's kind of good. And I won't go over the whole thing, but I was listening to Marc Maron, WTF, and he starts his podcast. He's like, hey, what's up? What the fuckers? What the fuck nuts? And what the fuck? He's like, that's how he starts his podcast. It's really, I love it.
Does he do it every time?
He does it a lot of the times. He does it several times, here and there, and he peppers it in. Well, he had Billy West on there, who's this great voiceover guy.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just.
Does he do like comics or cartoons or what?
Yeah, he did. He did lots of cartoons.
Is he like a Mark Hamill of cartoons?
Oh, he did like a bunch of the voices on Futurama.
Okay.
That's probably his best. Like for my friends, will you listen to Fry? That's him, and he's like a 50, 60-year-old dude when he's doing it. So it's great. And he talks about how he grew up with all these big dumb announcers who would always embellish at the end of what they were saying. Yeah. And shit like that. That was one of my favorites.
Being overzealous about your pronunciations.
But I was kind of disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I wanted it to be a hack interview, and they did it. Mark is a great job of just letting people talk, right? And it was a great interview. And somehow they always talk about their addictions, or they always talk about how their life was fucked up for a while. And that was a really great part of the interview. But I'm not going to lie. I wanted him to hack it up a little bit and just get him to do a bunch of the voices. He did do a bunch of voices, but I wanted him to do, okay, what about this guy? And then you did this guy, remember? And to say something like what he says. You know what I mean? And they just reel off a bunch of different voices. It's just amazing how they can do this with their voice. But I was looking forward to that, and I'm glad that he didn't now. Like, when you look at the interview, it's better that he didn't. But, like if it's on Jimmy Kimmel or something, it's just going to be voice after voice after voice. But, so overall, not disappointed. I really actually liked that one. It was cool hearing him talk about doing this, like being a voice. He was on Howard Stern.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'd have to listen to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It was What the Fuck, Marc Maron and Billy West. And
was that
it was
a
fairly
recent one?
Yeah, it was fairly recent. It wasn't like the most recent one.
Okay.
Let's say it's been the last 2 months.
Voiceovers, I nerded out the other night and
Nerd alert.
was playing Mass Effect.
Of course.
And I had to see whose voice was whose.
Oh, okay.
So I went on YouTube and actually BioWare put this little thing together, like their jokes, and showed like the voices of each character, and they were doing little skits and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool when they make it fun
especially
like
after I had a relationship with an alien species. Her name's PB, and I had to see what she looked like in real life.
Oh, you have a relationship in the game?
In the game with a girl named PB.
How many PB and J's have you gotten?
I had to. She's sexy
PB
sounding.
and
She's
J's.
an alien though. She's got like a human face with these like.
I'm not gonna go alien if I ever
Look up PB on Mass Effect.
If my wife ever leaves me, because I'm not stupid, I'm not gonna leave her. But if she ever leaves me, I'm contemplating, like, would I ever bother with like all that work again, or would I just buy like a real doll, put it in my closet,
getting back out there and having a relationship with a real person?
Yeah, I'm thinking no.
It is a lot of work. Relationships are a lot of work.
PB and J.
No, just PEEBEE.
Ask her if she'll give you a PB and J.
Just straight, one word. PB, not peenie.
Peenie.
There you go. PB Mass Effect.
Why do I not have romance?
That's not. Go back.
There's scenes. All right, hold on. I'll just delete this. I like to have so you can hear it. Click.
Yeah. Then go to images.
All right, I'm fucking around here. Sorry. Hold on.
Jesus Christ, get your life together. What the fuck, dude?
Okay, where do I go? Images?
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, PB.
That's PB.
It looks like a guy.
Doesn't look like a guy.
Oh, it definitely
Not
does.
that. That's a guy. That's like mixed with a guy. That's not PB.
That's somebody doing there.
That's another one that's mixed in there.
Oh, okay. This one is...
That's PB.
Okay, that's...
I don't know. Maybe not necessarily.
That's where you get the PB and J right there.
But her voice is sexy.
That's her.
Yeah. So I had a relationship with her on Mass Effect.
What does it sound like? Hello, Lance. I'm here to fly your ship to the moon.
It's not. I mean, obviously, when I say there's a relationship in Mass Effect, it's not going to be like a full-on porn thing.
We know that you're in a committed relationship with PB now.
Yeah, I am.
So you're not going to ask her for a PB and J.
I don't know what that is.
Well,
describe to everybody what a PB and J is.
It's PB giving you a job, some type of job. So you just have to figure out which one you want it to be.
Oh. Like a hand massage.
Like a PBHJ.
Yeah.
PBBJ.
Yeah. She's cute. I like her. I like that little smear of black across her eyes.
For a weird alien type of attraction, yeah. What's her... Oh, here we go. This is what I need.
All right.
I'm sure there will be some
move on from that.
fan porn about PB one day.
Yeah. I had another option. Her name was Cora. She's a human.
I have okay. I have to tell you something though.
Oh, tell me.
Which I asked you about earlier, but actually, I'm glad we didn't figure it out. How do you spell Cora?
Cora.
Talking about this. So, guess what my early Father's Day present was? Which I was like, just make it a present. You don't have to buy me anything for my birthday or whatever. Right here.
You can either click here or there.
How do you do this?
You're like,
oh man, she's game. I'm game for her.
She's cute.
Yep, I like Cora.
PB was a little bit more easy though.
That's cool. Well, you know what they say, space girls are easy.
Yeah. Cora was a little bit more work. And she's like, I remember in the conversations, I had a like,
I'm clicking
you
so
can
fast.
flirt, you know, because it's obviously a role playing thing. So it gives you options on what to say, so you can flirt. And after I flirted with PB one time, you go up and talk to Cora, and she's like, PB, really, huh? And gives you that look like,
She is jealous?
yeah, she got jealous. Yeah. And then I brought it too far, and PB and I went a little too far, and then it was a full-on relationship.
I gotta ask.
We're still in a committed... PB is with War Machine right now.
But why would you why would you buy the cow and you get the milk for free? Do you know, like, does it show stuff then?
No. It's not...
See, I don't understand. Why don't they do that? If they're going to have
It'll show them, like,
romance
rolling and kissing a little bit, and then it blacks out, and then you're going back to your normal
So
whatever.
it doesn't just show, like, kind of, as it kind of fades out, the sheets, going up and down while you're bounding away on
There's
PB,
one where it's like,
PB.
you get in this escape pod on the ship, and you mess around in zero gravity. And then she's like, oh. And then it's like, oh. And she's like, oh. And then that's like...
Wrong hole, fool.
That's like the extent of what it shows in there. And it's funny.
I did see somebody play Mass Effect years ago. I think it must have been the first one, and I thought it was really cool. I think
it's a very fun game, man.
It's addictive, I'm
it's
sure.
super addicting, and it's super.
That's what I want my space
super
to
long.
look like.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to what I was going to say.
Yeah, let's get off that.
My wife got me this present. Guess what it is? It's tickets to something. Guess what it is too?
Sex World Toy Extravaganza.
Close,
at
but that's
at the convention center.
Would they have that? I'd hate to walk into that. Like, you know what? Let's check out what's going on at the
You just
convention
walk in
center
and there's
today.
this big oscillating fucking dildo going like this. Like
somebody's starting
you're
up
walking between these two things that are just going,
pumping, like
just pumping.
And there's like a. And then in the background,
and they're way too big for your body.
In the background, there's one of those air guys that's always whipping everywhere,
Yeah.
but the arms are shaped like dildos,
Yeah.
and the head is
Just
shaped
penis.
like a vulva or an orchid.
We got imaginations, that's for sure.
So it's a performance of some sort, and I was just talking about him.
Is it a band?
Nope. He's a comedian, and he does What the Fuck podcast. It's Marc Maron.
Yeah, is he? He's a comedian?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's where he came
so your
up.
wife got you tickets for that?
Yes.
Where's that at?
The Pantages, and he's said on his podcast, he talks about the dates, and he's like, so I got a pre-special date at Madison, and then I'm going to Minneapolis where I'm filming my
Special.
So
he's filming it here.
Yes, and it's locked in, like, because he talked about it.
Hey, it's your boy.
What's up, man? Who?
Skinny penis.
We finally got that.
I'd
phone
like to
call.
meet that guy.
Want to meet that guy?
That's cool. What date is that?
It's next Saturday, so it's April 29th.
Are you going with your wife?
No, I don't have anybody to go yet. You want to go?
Oh, let me look at my calendar.
You don't work Saturdays.
I know, but I might have something on my calendar.
You and PB got a date planned?
PB and I are fucking TIT tight.
PB and J is going to give
Is
you
it the
PB and I.
29th or whatever?
Yeah.
Wait, no, it's the 6th, isn't it?
No.
It's this week, Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
The 29th. I have nothing scheduled. If it's the 6th, I have a show in Chippewa Falls.
Eiffel Tower.
Who is PB in the middle? You can't be a part of this shit. PB is not open for
We'll see.
try use.
We'll see.
This Saturday, we're going to Marc Maron?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
You like comedians, don't you?
Fuck yeah, I like
Well, here,
comedians.
I'll tell you what. He's more of a... It's great. He talks about himself, and he just talks about all of his stuff, and it's funny.
Is he? Would you say he's like
drier.
a top 20 comedian right now?
He's got like he's got the
Is he had like
equivalent.
a Comedy Central special or?
He's like now I can't remember the guy's name. But he's like the Primus, right?
Maron
What's the MARC?
with a C.
Yep.
Oh, I know who he is. He's been
Yeah.
on Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
He's been on. This isn't happening with fucking.
Yep.
With what's that dude? He's a Jewish dude that hosts it.
I just listened to that podcast. It's Mesha. It's Mesh something. Mesh. He's about to have a show called.
He's funny.
Yeah, he is. He's been on After Midnight a bunch of times too.
What's his name? Look his name.
I'm
up.
doing it right now.
Joe was just talking about him. He went on a hiatus and didn't shut off his phone and just traveled.
Wait, which one?
The Jewish dude.
Oh yeah, no, Marin or the other?
No,
guy?
not Mark.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that, didn't we? Yep, you're right. Yeah. For like, that was him. He doesn't seem.
He's
like
the one
guy
that
would
hosts
do that.
This Isn't Happening.
Yeah, but he doesn't do that anymore. I don't think.
Yeah, he just did it. Joe's been talking about it.
Okay.
He turned off his phone and just fucking left for a month or two. Didn't tell anybody where he's going and went on a fucking life journey.
But now he's doing
I'm sure he's back now.
Moshe Kasher.
No, that's not him either.
Okay. The guy I'm talking about is Moshe Kasher.
He's married to Natasha Leggero.
Moshe Kasher, yeah. He
love
is.
her.
Yeah. So Moshe
I love
Kasher's
her.
not the guy who
He was just
disappeared.
on Joe Rogan too.
Yep. Yeah, he's on everything.
He's
now.
funny.
Oh yeah,
He's really
very
funny, man.
Well, so Marin is a more like a dry wit and more of like a self-deprecating. So it's kind of fun. He's got and why am I having a brain fart? Like I said, he's got
Ari Shafir.
Ari Shafir. Okay, yeah.
He hosts This Isn't Happening on Comedy Central.
Yep.
You ever watch one of those?
Nope, never seen it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, you need to watch some of those.
Yeah, I got to get into more.
Pick somebody that you like out of the comedians that go on there and watch a few of those.
Okay, because
There's good comedians on there.
I've just been doing.
They do it
comedy
at a strip
specials.
club in L.A.
Is
You know what I'm
Ari
saying?
the guy? Is
They
he,
stand up on a fucking strip bar and do the comedy show on the strip bar.
So I know it's saying Ari. Like, is he the guy who did the surprising racist thing?
I think so. Yep.
Oh my god!
This guy.
Fuck, that's so fucked up.
This guy.
When you watch,
You know who
it,
he is, right?
Yes.
Yes.
When
Yeah,
you
he'll go into
watch
like
those,
black neighborhoods and shit.
He put a boat.
Did you ever
on-
see that?
No, yeah, but I saw the one where he puts a boat on the beach and he tries to sell people rides back to Africa. It's so I didn't know that he wasn't a total fucking racist when I saw it, so I was just outraged.
Oh, come on. It's comedy, man.
Well, I didn't know it was comedy.
he's
That's
like-
why it was so. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know it was comedy.
Yeah, he's
And neither do the people who come up and talk to him
he's
about
total
it.
shock value, man. He doesn't give a fuck.
Fucked up.
He's not afraid to get punched in the face either.
It's wow.
He'll be
Yeah.
like, no, whatever. But like, there's a certain level of having balls, and that dude's got fucking balls.
He's like a Sacha Baron Cohen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sasha's got balls too.
Yeah. So I don't know how much. I think it was when I was younger. I would have liked that a lot more. I think. I mean, I get it, and I love the shock value stuff. I do it.
I haven't watched a lot of them, but I remember watching a few, and he's just stepping into the most darkest places and neighborhoods, and he's fucking
weird.
Goes into like the most ghetto fucking corner store and just starts shit with people.
See, that's a death wish. They gotta know he's full of shit, though.
If you got a camera attached to you, and
they probably,
not attached to you, he's got a film guy with him or whatever.
Yeah, like we're filming you get in this fucking horrible
Yeah,
altercation.
but those people that he's doing it to, they don't have any idea.
See, but that's kind of fucked up too, then, because they're like totally fucking with their sensibilities, and they don't know it. So it's the same as if some real racist walked up on the street and said something real fucked up to somebody, because they don't know the difference.
Yeah, but I think he does it more subtle.
It's still like
He's not like he doesn't.
I'm not like
walk up-
outraged. You know what I mean? I'm saying when I thought it wasn't comedy,
Right.
I was like, this fucking asshole. You know, I'm like, fuck this guy.
Was that aired on any particular show? Or was that like
No,
a
it was
YouTube?
like a YouTube.
It had to been a YouTube because
Yeah.
there's no way that Comedy Central would put that on.
God, you know what?
But he's
I
on
think they
Comedy
might have.
Central now.
I think they might have put it on.
Yeah.
It might have been a
Let's
clip.
let's get a call in and see if somebody can square this away for us. All right, give us a call. Tell us a little bit more about the Amazing Racist.
Yeah, if you know anything about it,
Right.
give us a call. We'll do
All
a
right,
couple
call in.
more tadbats.
Apparently, nobody's going to call him.
We're not getting the feedback we like. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to call Pat Iverson. You golfed with him.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's fuck around with his phone here. So in the interim, Marc Maron he's like the official cult following. Like he did a huge following, and it all came from his podcast. But I watched every season of his show, and it's a really good show, especially when he tries to help his neighbors who are his friends try to conceive. They're a lesbian couple. They're married lesbians. He tries to help them conceive, and he totally fucks that up. Their relationship ends because of it. It's all
for real.
Oh yeah. It's a major part of the storyline.
How does he try to help them conceive? Does he try to fuck one of them or what?
They're like, we don't want to. I can't remember if it was like they just don't want to pay all the bills or whatever, or they didn't want to go through a fertility clinic. So they decided. One of the women decided they decided who the mom was gonna be. You know,
right,
who was gonna conceive. I should say not who the mom was gonna be, but who was gonna conceive. And then they're like, you need to do it with her. And so, of course, there's the funny part where he
and
goes
this is
in,
real.
and she's like,
"This is real."
No, it's loosely based on his life. So I don't know about that one part, but I'm pretty sure this didn't actually happen. But he fucking goes. Well, of course, one of the funniest parts is he's in the bedroom, and she's like, "Will you just put it in me, and then let's do this." And come on, and he's like, "Well, it is a two-way street. I need you to like pretend like." I don't want it to feel like this isn't verbatim, but he's basically expressing he doesn't want to feel like he's raping her or something. He wants her to do a little role play at least.
Somebody needs to be in it if I'm going to be doing it.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I'll just be like. Brr.
So that's a great scene, the awkwardness of that scene. But let's see if this fucker will answer. Here goes, guys. You remember Pat? You golfed with him.
What are we going to ask him?
I don't know. Well, I didn't prepare for this fucking thing. I actually went to work today. I think we might get voicemail here. He does work at 6 a.m. Oh, fuck.
He's going to let it go to voicemail.
He's going to screen me. I can rant about voicemail.
You should... What?
Why do you need...
Hi, you've reached Pat.
Okay.
Not available right now. If you leave a message, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
So there's the message.
At the tone, please record.
Then why does she need to tell you that?
Finished
Just play the
recording,
fucking
you
tone.
may hang up or press
Now
1 for more options.
Am I leaving a message?
Yeah, you're leaving a message.
Pat, what's up, man? This is Adam, the Frosty. How are you? Just calling to check in from the Flummery podcast. So
we just decided to randomly call you.
We're calling
right
you.
now.
So call my phone if you get this message in the next 30 to 35 minutes.
Not even that.
Okay. Love you. Bye. He's going to be pissed if he gets that because he works early in the morning. So he might be in bed. Like,
yeah.
He's going to be pissed if he gets that. Like, fuck, I could have fucking talked to those guys on the podcast.
Is he aware of our podcast?
Yeah. I told him I was going to try and include him somehow.
Oh. Jesus.
Did that come across?
I need to leave.
Bathtub scene.
Pack your bags.
Pack it up.
Pack it up.
Time to go.
Time to go.
That is a tuba squirt.
You're a dick.
I didn't think... I went to B-52 today with the wife and kids, so there's a little special sauce in there.
Stop it. Get
That's
some
the
help.
one.
Yeah, that's for you.
Well, my brother's kind of an asshole. Should we call him?
Let's just not make it about trying calling everyone. Let's be a little bit more fucking thought out
Well,
next time.
I haven't had any.
It's fine. We don't need to. We got to figure it out. We'll have a little bit more, decisive who we're gonna call, and they're gonna know we're gonna call. How about that?
I like it both ways.
Yeah, you like dudes too.
It is Wednesday, my
The
dudes.
dudes. For those of you, don't be scared. It is not Wednesday.
Yeah, it's actually
Probably be
you
hearing
might
this
listen
on
to this
Tuesday.
on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So you never know. So if you listen to this on Wednesday, you will get lucky,
My dudes.
and not just in a sense of like getting laid, but just listening to our wonderful voices.
Our wonderful voices.
What else? How's your weekend? You didn't tell me about your weekend.
Oh, I got to talk about. Well, I worked all weekend. I'm in the middle of like a 13-day stretch. Sucks. But the weekend before, went up to my friend Aaron's cabin, north of the Twin Cities, about an hour and a half. He's got some land up there. Went turkey hunting. Mm-hmm. Killed a big motherfucking turkey.
Yeah.
A big turkey.
I saw it.
Okay. Oh, you did see it.
You sent pictures.
I get there.
When you do something, you don't hold back. You send like 50 pictures.
No, it was.
You're like a chick on Pinterest.
Or 36 pictures. Yeah, something like that. Well, did you get any?
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9
That's a good
large,
base.
a number 6 with extra dip,
Dip.
number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soap.
That's you ordering food.
Why? Because I get extra dips?
Yes, you are the condiment fucking king.
Yeah, that
should be your new nickname.
That's been said before.
The condiment king.
I get up to my friend's place.
Yep.
I'm going to be there all weekend hunting. Thinking I'm going to have to set stuff up. And I got there late. It's like 4 p.m.
Did you get your turkey tags?
I did. Yep. So the first thing I do is I go find him. He's out doing some chores and stuff. He's like, all right, well, I'll show you where we're going to set up.
Is he like a farmer?
No. He just him and his dad have 2 places up there, so he kind of helps his dad out.
Yeah.
Well, he loves it up there, so I don't blame him. But we get there, and he's like, I'm going to go show you where I've seen him. And I'm like, okay, cool. And right away, we see one in the field where I wanted to hunt in the first place. And so I get out of the truck, I go and I try and call this turkey over to where I like get behind.
You drive up on it and fucking...
No, we pulled on...
You drive up on it and...
Pulled in where you couldn't see.
What do they call that? Poach it.
No, it's not poaching. I had all the necessary tags.
You poached the shit out of it.
No, we're good. So...
You took a fucking
Somebody's going to call a fucking tip line on me.
You took one of those flying... like drones and had a bomb on it and flew it over its head and fucking...
Yeah, because I just wanted to disintegrate the turkey. So... Hey,
that's pretty good.
Yeah. And you're like, fuck hunting, and you're like... I play Pokemon every day.
No,
Okay, so is this the turkey that you got?
We scared this turkey away. But I tried to call it in. He wasn't having it.
Do you have a turkey call?
I do.
Did you order it from the boys on the TV show?
No, those are duck calls.
Oh, yeah. Whatever.
What's this? The movie you made
The turkeys are attracted to ducks. They fuck ducks. Turkeys fuck ducks. A turducklin. That's how you get turducklin.
That's like a chef specialty, I think.
Oh.
So you get there. This turkey goes away. He's like, well, I'll show you this other place. And I see this hen running across the field. So long story short, I try to run down this tree line, ambush this turkey because I didn't know it was a hen. Well, she comes running out and sees me. I'm like, fuck. So I'm busted. Well, I'm like, well, I'm out here now. I'm going to go down the tree line a little more. I sit down. I find my spot behind a fallen down tree. And I got my camouflage on. My face is all covered. And I start calling, like, where was that hen going? So I start calling and calling. And then I stop and I wait. And these 2 big black specks come out from like a marshy area and like a weedy, grassy, marshy area. And I'm like, holy shit. And they're still hanging together for some reason. In the spring, a lot of times they'll split up. But these are 2 big toms. Their beards are like touching the ground. I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. So I call again and trying not to move.
Is it a female call when you do that?
Well, you can change it. But yeah, you want to try and get like the purrs and then like, like purrs and clucks. And it helps.
Does that mean you're in heat?
Well, normally, like in really populated areas,
I'm asking you, are you in heat when you're doing this? Personally,
I was personally hot. Yeah, you could probably see the steam coming off my joint, but it was, pretty cool. So I called. Basically, long story short, I call them into within like 25, 30 yards, without any decoys or anything, which is something I've never done before. And then,
how many years have you turkey hunted?
About 5.
Yeah,
5 or 6.
How'd you get into it?
My father-in-law took me out one
because he's from Wisconsin.
Winter day, and I got my first turkey, and I've been addicted ever since. So,
Wow.
So then they come out, and I get a good look at them, but they're where they could see me if I move, because they can see like 400 yards. They'll see you from 400 yards away, the ones that live in the country, and they just run away. Like, who's this fucking asshole 400 yards away? Bye.
The big toms.
Yeah, anything, any kind of turkey.
Oh, okay.
So they're not super smart, but their instincts and the way that they
can be
live their
fucking mean,
lives,
can't they,
they're
too?
hard to get.
Yeah, but can they be aggressive too?
Oh yeah, that's why when they hear that call, they're all horned up. They're like, "I'm gonna fuck this bitch right now," and that's why they come. And they weren't looking as closely as because if they had been looking as closely as they could have easily seen the whites of my eyes, and been like, "Oh, that's a dude."
Do they see full color?
That I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I think so.
Curious because I know deer don't.
Deer don't. Deer won't primarily see movement.
Yeah, they're like black and they have like a black and white thing.
And the difference between coyotes and wolves.
No, I'm just question. It's a legit question.
No, I was
Just seeing
doing
what they're-
because of the Rogan podcast where he had that guy.
Oh, the fucking yeah, Jesus! You could have cut that into a half an hour interview.
Right. So I can't move, but I've got my gun kind of pointing the way that they came from. So I wait till they both put their heads down and I swing my gun around real quick because it's already on my shoulder. I learned that lesson when I missed one a couple years ago. So it's already on my shoulder.
You take from your experiences and build on them.
Yes, like Cora from Mass Effect.
Yeah,
and I
like how I fucked her over.
Yeah,
and she's
well,
like,
she
"PB,
deserved
really?"
it. PB.
He was all over my shit.
So I swing the gun around when their heads are down. They look up, both of them, at the exact same time, and they're looking right at me. Like,
How far away are they
who
at this
is
point?
this motherfucker? Like 25 yards away.
Okay,
And
quarter of a football field.
yeah, and then
You don't use a slug, you use pellets,
I
right?
use it's 4-shot. That's the most kind of beads that you can use is 4.
4 of them?
Well, no, I mean it's the least. I should say the least and the largest.
They're
beads,
bigger,
pellets,
right?
Yeah.
And how many are in a shell?
Oh god, I don't know. It's gonna be, I don't know. That's stuff that.
And
could
you
probably
want that
ask.
size and weight if you're going to shoot 25 yards, because if you
You
shoot
need
really light ones, you're not going to hurt that fucking turkey.
Turkeys are hard to kill. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have the power behind them. That's why there's a 2-inch shot in there. And
So the packing's
Yep.
fairly legit. So
Or
you're
2-ounce shot, I should
You're
say.
going to cover that distance.
Yeah.
So with a shot like that, me being inquisitive, I've shot shotguns before. I've never hunted turkeys, but me being inquisitive, I've shot even skeet and down at the gun club. But me not hunting turkeys, with a shot like that, and for our listeners,
Yeah.
what is the distance you can cover with that?
For me, I wouldn't want to do over 45 yards. And that's because I'm an okay shot, but I have to really be on it if I'm going to try and
What's
make
your
that
spread
shot.
like at about 25 yards?
It's about that big.
That's it?
Yeah. Because I've got a full choke on there.
Okay.
So when I hit this turkey with that shot, it's, half the pellets went in his head and his windpipe. Because I aim for their head.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
because
have
you're not compromising meat.
Yeah, and if
Right?
it goes into their chest, they're not going to die, honestly.
There's so much shit there.
Their breasts are this thick.
Yeah.
They're 3 inches thick.
Yeah, they're fucking bigger than our breasts.
Yep, they're bigger. I think probably geese is comparable.
Yeah.
But
So you take them out by the head.
Yeah, I have to because it's like when I lowered it on them, it was like a split second. They looked at me. I lowered, got the bead, bang, and dropped.
So
the
you're
one.
literally talking like with 4 or 5 seconds after your gun was brought up and aimed at them.
No, like a second and a half. It all happened.
Okay, so you're like,
I had it on my
and then
shoulder,
boom.
moved it over, bang, like that, just
Yeah.
like that.
And you got him.
Yeah, and I had the bead right on it. As soon as I saw it kind of come down and cross his head, it just bang. He fucking crumpled right there, which also doesn't happen a lot.
Will the other one fly out?
Fucking thing jumps 15 feet in the air, looks back at me as he's going down, spreads his wings, his feet hit the ground, and he's flapping his wings and running at the same time.
Yeah, just like fucking.
Yeah.
How fast can they run?
Oh, they're fast. They're gone.
Yeah, I mean you can't catch them. A human can't
Across
catch
the
them.
field in a few seconds.
Yeah,
2 or 3 seconds.
a person running couldn't catch them.
No way. No way.
It's not like they're cheetahs, but they're
I mean,
faster
if you had like a full running sprinter going and then
average turkey running speed. You should look that up.
I don't know.
I'm
That's a good
curious.
question. I'm by curious to know the answer to that.
Yeah,
But as far as the shot
Not-
goes,
yeah,
the reason I wouldn't
running speed.
do one further than that is because you don't want to just hurt one, and then and then they're out in the wilderness and they're all fucked up. It's like, okay, well,
And then you're gonna want to go to all because it's not gonna.
right, gotcha. Look at those big turkeys. Emerges 25 miles an hour. Their top speed in flight is 55 an hour.
They can run 25.
Yeah. And then if they're running and they're flapping their
And
wings,
what is
somewhere
the
between there.
fastest man? Like 21 miles an hour?
I don't know.
Something like the 21, 22 miles an hour.
That's what this machine is for, man.
But a lot of people that are pretty fast are like 18, 19. Are you speaking Spanish there? What? Si, Piancro.
It's always when somebody's watching. God, are you serious?
Jesus, you need to learn your typing skills, son.
No, I'm good. What is the fastest runner? It's this gay keyboard you got. In miles per hour.
How many?
40 mph. They could. Who has clocked nearly 28 miles an hour in 100 meters.
Yeah, but the problem is I'm sure a turkey could
that's a full-on
abstain a little bit longer running period.
Oh, for sure.
If their adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah, they're gonna go. I mean, they're all
so
they do
28
is walk
miles.
all day.
Usain Bolt runs 28 miles an hour.
Yep.
Theoretically, 40 miles an hour. What is that? What does that mean?
A new study suggests such a feat would leave. Yeah, I don't know. The new findings come after the researchers.
Well, click on humans could run 40 miles per hour. Now I'm curious about humans running 40 miles per hour.
Factors that limit human speed. Physics. So
28 miles an hour is pretty fucking fast.
Yeah. Well, now we're on the science page.
I think we're going to name this episode like Turkeyology.
The main hindrance to speed is that our limbs can only take a certain amount of force when they strike the ground.
Keep going. However, if one considers that elite sprinters can apply peak forces of 800 to 1,000 pounds with a single limb during each sprinting step, it is easy to believe that runners are probably operating at or near the force limits of their muscles and limbs. What really holds us back? Let's see about this here. Let's find
This is a lot of...
I know, I'm trying to scroll through it.
Yeah, you scroll through that. So I used 3.5-inch shell.
Yeah.
2-ounce shot. And let me know when you want me to scroll.
No,
down.
just keep talking.
And it worked out for me. I got a lot of advice from my father-in-law and a friend of mine, Scott, took me out and really introduced me to stalking a turkey and being able to not get busted and like to get out, and you're not just sitting in one spot the whole time. You get out and you try and sneak to a spot and then call them from nearby, because that's how you really get them curious. And that was one of the best trips of my life.
Right.
Like, I went over to Hudson, Wisconsin and did that with him, and it was a full day of turkey hunting. And finally, at the end of the day, we got a turkey, and it was fucking awesome.
Did you gut it yourself?
Yeah. Yep. This time I breasted him out and took the legs.
Basically, what it's saying here, back to the limitations of man running, is the impact on your limbs and the physical limit that.
What if a man had sex with a turkey? I like this, where this is going so far. Let's talk more about that.
Human turkey sex?
The Hugh Turk.
So, you think Usain Bolt, do you think there was somebody in history that might have been faster than Usain Bolt with us being like hunter-gatherers in a sense?
Oh, you know what? I guarantee you that back before, our latest evolution, or at least our latest, most modern selves, when we were, let's talk about Native Americans. I like to use them as an example. Fairly modern, still, when you think about the time, but they worked with their hands and their feet all day. They traveled.
I'm sure there was a fucking Usain Bolt of the Indians.
Where their whole life they were, and then they breed. They have sex, and they have children.
PBs.
Who take on some of their traits, of course. So I would have a feeling. I have a feeling that it would be like a native culture somewhere in the world. I bet was way faster.
Yeah, I would almost 100% agree with that.
And the reason I say native culture is because of the way.
But the only thing with that is
hunter-gatherers, where they're constantly
they didn't have
walking
long lifespans.
running. Right. Yep.
I mean, you didn't live very long.
Like 20, 30 years old.
Probably.
Yeah. So I
died.
Dead, bitch. We'd be dead right now. Or we'd be the old dude, like, hand me the pipe. I'm going to tell you.
And you're so beat up, you're just like, give me some Fireball.
I'm
And
pretty
Fireball
sure.
back then was not the same. Fireball was like...
Like you throw a fireball at somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
What?
the fuck is going on here?
Humps with dentures
Like-
just got smoked with a fireball.
You're 35 and you're like,
I have osteoporosis.
Well, there is something I will say about wild turkey. Kind of wrap it up.
yeah.
My mother-in-law
So what's the difference?
cooks this wild turkey in a way that is 10 times better than a turkey from a store. It's
Is it
fucking great.
gamier than a
No, that's a word that people use. It's and not
There
to
is-
talk down about what you're saying, but I get what you're asking.
I know what gamey tastes like.
Right. There is a gamey taste, and it kind of a lot of that comes from deer before they took the silver skin off and stuff. But like if you eat bear and there's a bunch of fat on there, the fat tastes like shit. It makes it real gamey. Geese are kind of gamey, but turkeys, no. The problem is their dark meat is it's muscle. It's not like some fat ass turkey that got.
Yeah. Do you like
pumped
white
up
or
with
dark meat better?
antibiotics.
I'm a white meat guy.
I'm a dark meat guy.
Are you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like white meat
I mean, in many facets.
I like the breasts.
Yes, I like dark breasts.
Wait, does turkeys have white breasts?
Yeah, that's the way. It's a light.
It's so
meat.
weird they have white and dark meat.
Well, it's just a different type of muscle, right? The one, I believe it's just that there's more blood
Like their legs?
in their legs, yeah. Like less fat, more muscle, or more a different type of muscle, right?
Yeah.
And more blood flow,
Yeah.
probably, than the breast.
Yeah,
I
but the
think
breast.
that's the
yeah,
reason?
I get it. Yeah.
I'd like to know for sure, but
Right.
I'm not like an all-worldly, fucking
It's so
hunter. I just hunt two
It's
things.
just like you look at that and you look at like human or meat or like
I eat human. I hunt human.
or let's say like a cow and we have red meat and then it's so weird like poultry has got how they're different in the way the muscle looks and cooks and everything. It's just it's kind of mind-boggling to me.
I love the white meat is better for you. It has less shit in it. But the dark meat tastes better.
It's flavorful. It's rich.
There's way more flavor in it.
Probably more iron in it.
You think maybe I just like am flummering it up and that's the only reason.
I think
There's more
we could just be
iron.
blowing shit out of our buttholes. We don't even know.
I did it twice and there's no guarantee that I'm not doing it now. So I agree with you. Is what I'm saying.
I know you. I know you very well. I know you very well.
I play Pokemon Go
Every day.
I play Pokemon Go.
You got to end it out with that.
Can't help. Yep, that's the best one. Error.
I like that one.
Oh man, God, thinking. I love it.
We're just getting started.
Oh, we got fucked up. We fucked something.
It's high noon.
I don't like that one.
That sucks. It's kind of stupid.
See, that's the thing. That's a hack compared to Billy West. Oh my God, it was really, really cool hearing about him. I can see that if I had heard that,
I guess I'm gonna have to do my.
15,
I'm gonna have to do my research this week on a little bit more of Marc Maron. I'm familiar with him,
you
but
have Netflix.
not. Yeah, of course. I
Watch
got Netflix.
Thinky Pain.
Is that a stand-up?
Thinky Pain. Yep, it's actually he sits the whole time, but yes, it is.
I've seen him. I think I've seen him on This Isn't Happening, and I've seen him. I might have caught him on a Joe Rogan. I can't keep track of my Joe Rogans.
He's a podcaster. He has people that podcast on. He's one of the guys. He came out, and what was he going to do as a comedian? He's either going to do, and he talks about this. I'm just either going to host a show or be a writer, and that's it. Like that's what you do when you're a comedian. But then he went off, and he started his podcast in his garage.
And it's literally this garage.
Yeah, it's a garage, and he did the whole podcast aspect. And
look up Marc Maron's podcast Space.
Yeah, I'm sure there's pictures of it. But
I'd like to get to the point where I own a building and fucking just,
like have podcast studios for people.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan's podcast studio is awesome.
Everybody, listen up.
Yeah, he's typing. Podcast Space. Just do podcast Space.
All right. It is his garage.
Have you seen Joey Coco's podcast Space? I think he tried to copy
No.
Joey Rogan's. And go to images.
Yep.
Not news.
God.
What is your problem?
It's like you predicted that. Awesome. Here you go. I think this is probably the real one.
Did he really have Obama on?
Oh yeah, and it was. I don't want to get political here.
Was it awesome? I got no beef with Obama.
I think you know what? I think that
we just don't need to get
in the
political
episode.
about
it. There he is right there.
Oh, look at the awesome mics he's got. Guess what kind of mic he's using?
Shure's. Yeah.
This one.
Well, that's a Shure, and that's a Shure. What's he got? He's got an AT 2020. No, I'm just kidding.
No, they're all SM7Bs.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a little research to do before I go to the show with you this weekend.
This reminds me, since you asked, when he had Obama on, I believe that Obama was fresh, light. He was awesome. He's my hero. But anyway, I think part of the thing was they were talking about.
I love the window AC.
Yeah,
classy.
They were talking about. Well, it's his garage. They're talking about, and this is Obama reaching out to all these people that are his fans. Right. That was a good thing about Obama is he did have a really wide, campaign with like podcasts and tweets and stuff.
Sure.
Which has become standard.
Sure.
But whatever. The point is, I think he said the N-word.
Obama did.
Yeah, and it was a big to take that.
Did he get some guff over that?
No. No, when you listen.
Did he say it gangster style? Did he throw a little homie into it?
We got to pause.
It's nothing wrong with that. It's a legit question. Did he give it a little zesto?
No,
okay.
That's not what
I'm
doing.
asking.
When you listen to it, you can hear it. You know why there was no guff about it because it's not controversial how he said it. It was.
You should say it.
It was apropos
out loud right now.
Well, I can. I'm blind.
Did you just mouth fart?
No, I snorted because I love the idea of me just completely ruining the rest of my life by doing it.
We're down to one member on the podcast. It's just me. I'm going to just be ranting.
The FCC called. No, you know what? And I'm not going to. I don't need to do that. I don't have that saved up like other people do. Like, you ever notice you ever see a video on the internet where somebody is like, they're antagonizing each other, a white man and a black man, and then the white man pulls out the N-word. And I love this. This could be a bit if I was a comedian, because I could totally go into it. Like, they've been saving that shit up. Like, I've never been allowed to say this, but now that I'm so mad at you, I can use it and use the N-word now.
Yeah.
It's like, don't save that up. Just don't have it in there. Just don't save it up. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do it.
I don't get it. I mean, I don't care anybody using that word.
No, I hear you. Yeah, I don't love it. I'm glad that a lot of rappers have graduated from it, but I know it's still in the game.
No, what are you saying? No, that's not true.
Oh, a lot of rappers don't use it anymore. There's definitely the hardcore rap and stuff. They still use it all the time, but there's plenty of performers who don't use it anymore, which is a good thing. It's kind of like fighting in hockey. It's starting to kind of weed its way out. Like, you don't need it.
Yeah, we need it. They're not pussies like soccer players are.
Well, they're not pussies. They skate on a fucking broken ankle. Like, you don't need to fight to prove that they're tougher than soccer players.
Right.
That's fact and lore. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's obvious. You see him playing with no fucking teeth from that game.
Yeah, look at Brett Burns.
Did you ever see it?
Hey, guys.
Will you see somebody get a fucking tooth knocked out and then they're on the ice for their next
Just
shift?
checking out for the paper boys.
Reach down, I got some quarters deep down in my front pockets.
Yeah, Brett Burns, he's just he's got that huge beard and he smiles and there's just like two fangs here. He's like, but you know why
Someday that'll be me, but just from like drugs.
Play your game, and then when you're done with the game of hockey, go get a fresh grill.
They do.
That's what you do. Why even bother getting teeth?
You seen chicks, the hockey players, Paul? Apparently you don't need teeth.
No, you don't. They like gumming it.
I guess then you're less likely to accidentally, like when you're getting really into it, you ever kind of bite the nipple and they're like, what the fuck?
Can you imagine like sucking on and then getting that gummy part in there and then just like gumming it a little bit?
In between two teeth? Yeah, I think
Is it like in between two ferns?
No, I've got a show boner.
In between two teeth.
In between two ferns. That's another great one. I love fucking when
Zach's awesome. Have you seen like him live at the Purple Onion or whatever?
Yes.
That is one of my favorites.
He's his character, and he's just like showering himself over the piano, like, and he's doing his act. One hand piano, the other hand on a beer, elbow way up on top of the piano.
And he's run out of beer, and he's so like good. Looking at the person. He's like,
Go get me a fucking
Give
beer.
me another fucking beer. And he's like, hey.
That's such a good, and the way it shows why he's a good actor still. I mean, even though he does a bunch of bullshit movies, he's had other great acting roles
he's
too.
awesome.
Like you see him in Baskets.
He's a little politically too charged for me sometimes, but I like him.
Yeah, but whatever. Those guys, celebrities, are going to have that shit.
Right.
I don't get it, but they decide they want to tell everybody what's
Well,
up.
his dad was, or his uncle was like a senator or something like that.
Is that why he did that movie with Will Ferrell?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He punched the baby. That's great.
That was funny.
I love it when a baby gets punched. I fucking love it. I don't care. Send us emails. I don't care. You're not going to convince me otherwise. I talked about punching a kid across the pool the other podcast. Remember?
Are we talking baby? Or are we talking like a 9-year-old that's being a fucking prick?
Oh, that 9-year-old might be better.
Yeah.
Because their whole like body would flail and stuff. Like a baby is just going to look like you punched like a kickball.
That's so weird. I don't know why you're talking about this.
Mere babies.
And you have 2 kids yourself.
Oh, I wanted to punch them so many times.
Oh, I bet.
I knew that it would not be good for the family. So
Your kids are doing an interview about it in the future. Like, yeah, we didn't have the healthiest relationship growing up together.
I'll tell you what. That's why I'm an MMA fighter. That's why
right.
I changed my name to War Machine.
Get some help.
I'm sorry. I need to talk to somebody. I need to vent. But seriously, how funny is it if you see a kid just get socked and their whole body just goes whap? Because you're like, at first you're like, oh shit, and then you see what happens.
Just wrong.
Flop. Like the one guy, I felt so bad. It was probably his daughter, and he and his son were playing like a video game or something. He was doing like the arm swing, and he came back, and his young daughter she was probably like
I think I've seen that.
3 or 4.
That was a couple years
She's
ago.
cute little like Brit things in her hair, like little, I don't remember what you call them, but like, they were probably like little unicorn berets, and he fucking just whap, and she goes like this. It's like when Peter on the Family Guy falls over, just
Yeah.
it's like they do that on purpose. I think it's like 2 frames, him standing and him laying down.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like, and I was like, "Oh my God, that poor girl!" And I'm like, "She's probably fine. This is so funny." Fuck. More. That's
All
what
right.
I'd say.
I think we're good to go on this one, buddy. We got a good enough time on this one.
Okay. So just want to emphasize.
Let's
You're thinking
recap on the
tomorrow.
YouTube stuff and people like.
Well, let's do this. You're thinking tomorrow. I wish we could do a podcast every day. You're thinking that next week we might have a special guest.
Yeah, I think next week is probably a go, and we'll have a little information about a fellow buddy that was on the podcast to give us a little info on his month-long journey that he's
His
been on.
endeavors and his journeys. I hope that works out. We're pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if we'll combine that. That's probably a whole show. Or maybe do the week after that. We'll have my friend Brandon on. He's a comedian out in L.A. and he's doing his thing. And
Is he a real comedian?
yeah, he does shows. Yeah. I mean, is anyone a real comedian? It's just whether you make it or not.
And the Oscar goes to
Brandon Alexander Johnson. And that's his name. The best part is, if you look him up, there's another like more famous actor that has the exact same name. So you're never going to find him on IMDb.
Oh, is he on IMDb?
Yeah. Well, I don't know actually if Brandon is on IMDb, but his namesake is.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to. I'll bust his
that'd be
balls
cool.
about that.
If we had 2 guests, I don't know, that'd be sweet. And then we should.
We could do either.
Yeah.
We'll decide this week, and we'll let you know.
Yeah, and again, I'm gonna throw this down your throats again, but only because we love you and we would love the support, and just hit that like button on YouTube.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe.
Yeah, and
Do them both for us.
and Facebook as well.
I'm going to try this week. I'm going to send Marc Maron an email.
Yeah.
The WTF podcast.
Are you going to send it
him
with
an
like a
email.
severed finger in it?
No, I'm going to send him an email. I'm going to see if he will call our fucking podcast.
That'd be sweet.
It'd be stupid not to try, right?
Right.
It's not like lame. Oh, yeah, I'm coming to your city, but I don't want to be in a stupid podcast. Well, of course, probably not, but I'm still going to fucking try.
Right. You should do it.
All right, I'm going to do that
Do
tonight.
it. All right, cool. Well, thanks, guys. You guys have a good week, and we'll see you next Monday.
And
I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. A brand new house along the roadside, and it's made out of rattlesnake hide. Got a brand new chin that baby built on top, and it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with me, baby, and tell me who do you love?